Everyone has positions on something, and no matter what issues you care about or what your positions, there's bound to be someone out there who sees the whole thing differently. Unless you fall in the middle on every issue, there's bound to even be people whose opinions are basically polar opposites from yours. Hell, even from the middle it could just seem like both sides are extreme and opposite to you. Now, of course, there are actually extremists. I've discussed that before and I'm sure I'll discuss it again. Not everyone who disagrees on an issue is one of them, though, even though it can often seem like it. We're predisposed to see people like us in a better light than we see those who are different from or disagree with us. It's not hard to fall into believing in a caricature of those you strongly disagree with, or at least believing false generalizations about them really apply, sometimes even universally. Now, I'd like to think most of us want to get to the truth, not just win arguments. In reality, though, either goal requires you to actually understand those who oppose you. If you want to convince people they are incorrect on an issue, you can't do that by opposing something they don't actually believe. If you want to make a case against something in its entirety, you'll need to understand it well enough to make sure your points actually hold up, rather than only working against a small subset. Even if you want to make a case in favor of something, you will likely be able to make a stronger case if you start by understanding any opposition that currently exists. That way you can bring up any counterpoints you have, or at least display enough honesty and integrity to acknowledge valid points and explain why you don't think they are reason enough to oppose or prevent that thing. And of course, if you are actually seeking the truth or best possible answer instead of trying to further your own, you'll need to hear out, make sure you understand, and truly consider all of the different possibilities and views out there. Finding the real answers without understanding the people who think you're wrong or they have a better answer would basically just be a matter of luck. Or to put it another way,
I think it is very important to understand them. Like, I think that without trying to understand a problem, like, how are you going to solve a problem you don't understand? Like, you're just throwing stuff at the wall at that point. And you know, when it's all of us throwing stuff at the wall, then it's all going to cancel each other out.
Which really is a good question. How can we solve a problem if we don't understand it? And I mean truly understand it, not just think we understand it because we've been exposed to and mocked one for. We need to understand why even the extremists believe what they do. What problems are they trying to solve? How would their plan work? Are there any valid points that we really should be addressing? We also need to look for and understand any more moderate versions of those ideas, or other ideas between the two that might work better. Do all of a particular group want the thing you think is devastating? If not, then just harping on that detail isn't going to be very convincing for those who don't, unless you can show how it necessarily leads that way. Is there a milder position that would seem to solve the problem without the same devastating consequences? Then perhaps it should be acknowledged, even if not in detail. If nothing else, it will help signal to people who feel the more extreme solution is necessary that they can abandon it without giving up on solving that problem entirely. Thanks for hearing me out, and as always, civil discussion, suggestions, and constructive criticism are welcome in the comments or via social media. Feel free to rate, comment, and share. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Stick around through the credits for a link to another video, or check out the description for any sources that I used.